All right, guys. So hopefully you can see everything that's on my screen here. I'm going to super quickly go through how to make a line graph like this one on Excel. So let me delete this one that we prepared earlier. I'm going to speed through this. So just cut back to the sections you need to as we go through. So whenever you're trying to make a line graph on Excel, you need to have your data in some form of table. Now, the easiest way to do your table is to have your independent variable on the left-hand side, which is the thing that we're changing. And then you need to have your dependent variable on the right-hand side, which is over here. To start any graph, you need to make sure that you select the whole data set, go to Insert, and then go to the correct data type. Now, we were going to the line graph last time. Let's not do that. The way that Excel deals with data in this setting is just not what we need. We are making the exact same type of data that we could make here, but using scatterplot. So we're going to click on a scatter plot and it's going to preview us a few different types. The best one that we should pretty much always be using, unless we know that the relationship is exponential, then you could do something like a smooth line graph, but let's do straight lines. So click on this one. Grab the graph from the background, move it up closer to your data set. And you can see here, it's very clearly selecting these values as the X values and these ones as the Y values. Now, we have some good things already. Good scale on X and Y, good data points. If we quickly check for 30 degrees, it says something about 37, which is exactly what it is. For 60, it says something around 8 or 9, which it is perfect. We know that this has been plotted correctly. You can check more if you need to. Right click here. Actually, no, sorry, before we do that, let's not right click there. Let's go to chart design up here. Add chart elements. We need to have titles. So primary horizontal, primary vertical. I'm not going to talk about what I'm doing too much here, but you just need to make sure that for each of them, you have your title, temperature for this one, for example, and then your units. And then this one's temperature time in seconds. For your title, you need to have something that's concise but comprehensive, and you need to try and relay what relationship you're seeing here. And so for me, and for everyone in this graph, it's going to be the effect of temperature on the rate of a precipitation reaction. You could make this more specific. We could have said the effective temperature on the rate of a sodium thiosulfate blah, blah, blah reaction. But I'm just going to say a precipitation reaction here. Remember, whenever you're doing a lab report, you can also do figure legends, which could give you more information there. The relationship is the most important thing here. Let me fix that. Last thing that you might need to do for a graph, this would pretty much be complete, but sometimes you want to see a trend line. Put one up first, and then I'll talk about why you might need one. So there's two ways you can do it. You can click on the graph again. You can go to chart design, add chart element, trend lines, and then there's a few different options here. There's another way, just in case you want to know two ways. You can click on your data points, select them, then you can right click, add trend line, and then you'll get this little sidebar over here. Pretty much all of these you won't really need to use except for linear. We will let you know when you need to use an exponential one, which is when you have an exponential relationship where an increase in Y increases X exponentially. It goes up twofold every time, okay? But this one is linear. Now, this trend line, which goes through the middle of our data points, essentially, what is a trend line? It has an equal number of data points above and below the line. You can kind of see that's been satisfied here. We have 1, 2, 3 data points above our trend line. We have 1, 2, 3. So if you ever need to draw one, that's how you would do it. If you had 2 data points above, 4 data points below out of 6 data points, we would very quickly be able to tell that you haven't done that correctly. So you need to make sure that it's roughly in the middle with the equal data points above and below. Luckily, this does it for us. If you were to print this off, and even using this graph here digitally, we could then use this to work out with pretty close accuracy what we would expect the time for a reaction to be for any temperature. So if I asked you for 42 degrees, what do you expect the time to be? And you could go to 42 degrees along the x-axis, draw a line straight up, and then a line straight across. And without even doing this accurately, I can say pretty confidently it's going to be somewhere around 22.5 degrees, somewhere between 20 and 25. And so that's why we use trend lines, is to help us more accurately predict where data points will lie. Now, you will need to do this also for our concentration data, which is on OneNote. And then can you please screenshot both of these and then put them into your OneNote section for the experiment with the questions answered. But that's everything. Thanks, guys.